In the vast expanse of the galaxy, there were many strange worlds and countless alien species. One such world was Velkera, a planet where towering crystal forests stretched toward a violet sky, and the inhabitants, the Velkarians, were known for their unyielding pride. Their empire had spread across several systems, and they had no tolerance for weakness. To them, anything that couldn't survive in the harshest environments was considered expendable. Among the Velkarians was a young girl named Vora, born of noble blood, her soft blue skin and sharp, intelligent eyes marking her as one of the elite. However, her life had taken a tragic turn when an unexpected raid had decimated her home. The Velkarian forces, known for their brutal efficiency, had been caught off guard by an attack from an unknown alien race. In the chaos, Vora was injured, her left leg severely crushed under the weight of a collapsing structure. Her people, too proud to show weakness, saw her as a liability. They abandoned her, leaving her to die in the ruins of her once grand city. As days passed, Vora struggled to survive in the wilds of her desolate world. Her energy waned, her body failing her as she lay in a makeshift shelter of fallen debris. Yet, despite the odds, she refused to give in. Her thoughts often wandered to her family and the people she had once called kin, and her heart filled with resentment. The Velkarians had turned their backs on her, but even in her darkest hour, she held on to one fragile hope. Her life was not yet over. Far beyond the reaches of Velkera, on a ship of unimaginable size and power, a group of humans had intercepted a distress signal. Unlike the Velkarians, who left their own behind, the humans were different, known across the galaxy for their reputation of strength, courage, and most importantly, their unshakable sense of compassion. They could never leave someone to die. They would always answer the call, no matter who it was or where they came from. Captain Aiden Graves was leading the mission. His crew aboard the Vanguard had been exploring a nearby system when they detected the signal. It was faint, barely a whisper amidst the chaos of interstellar frequencies, but it was unmistakable. The human fleet had encountered numerous strange species before, but something about this distress signal tugged at Captain Graves' heart. "Prepare for emergency landing," Graves ordered, his voice steady but filled with urgency. "We're going to find out who needs our help. Make sure we're ready for anything." The Vanguard descended onto the surface of Velkera, its engines roaring as it cut through the thick atmosphere. The humans had little knowledge of what they would encounter on this hostile planet, but they were ready for whatever lay ahead. The crew was well trained, with their primary objective always to protect and help those in need. As the ship touched down, Graves led a small team of Marines out into the wilds, scanning the environment for any signs of life. Vora had long since given up hope of anyone finding her, yet her faint cries of desperation echoed into the vastness of the planet. She had no strength left to call out any longer. Her body, frail and broken, had almost accepted its fate. But just as she closed her eyes for what she thought would be the final time, a sound reached her ears, the roar of an engine, unlike anything she had heard before. She tried to lift her head, but her limbs failed her. Through blurry vision, she saw a figure approach. At first, she thought it might be another Velkarian soldier, but no, it was something else entirely. The man wore strange armor and was accompanied by others, their faces hidden behind helmets, but the way they moved spoke of a purpose Vora had never seen before. They weren't here to conquer. They were here to save. "She's still alive," one of the Marines shouted, kneeling beside her. His voice was filled with disbelief, but there was also determination. "Captain, we've got a survivor here." Captain Graves stepped forward, his eyes narrowing as he assessed the situation. He knelt next to Vora, examining her wounds with the precision of a seasoned officer. Her leg was badly mangled, and she was severely dehydrated, but there was still a spark of life within her. "Hold on, we'll get you help," Graves said, his voice soft but firm. He knew that even the best medical technology they had on board the Vanguard wouldn't be enough to save her without immediate treatment. With urgency, the humans carefully transported Vora back to the ship, securing her in a stasis chamber to stabilize her condition. As they lifted off from Velkera, the captain glanced back at the planet, a mixture of sadness and anger in his heart. How could they just leave her like that? He muttered. The humans worked tirelessly to tend to Vora's injuries. The advanced medical equipment aboard the Vanguard worked its magic, but it was the humans' own compassion that made the real difference. Vora, who had once been abandoned, now found herself surrounded by people who treated her not as an alien, but as someone worth saving. She couldn't understand it at first. Why had they come for her? Why had they risked so much? When she awoke, it wasn't to the sterile, cold atmosphere of Velcura's ruins, but to the warmth of the Vanguard's medbay. The humans had given her something she had thought lost: hope. It took her some time to comprehend what had happened, but once she did, she found herself filled with gratitude, unlike anything she had ever known. Captain Graves visited her as she recovered, his presence a constant reassurance. "You're safe now," he told her. "You're part of this crew now. We don't leave anyone behind." Vora's eyes filled with tears, tears of disbelief and wonder. For the first time since the attack on her home, she felt something she hadn't known in a long time: belonging. The humans had saved her, not because of her species or her status, but because they believed in something more. They believed in the strength of life, the power of compassion, and the undeniable truth that no one should be left to die alone. As the Vanguard soared through the stars, Vora found herself in awe of these humans, creatures she had once thought of as weak and primitive. Now she saw them for what they truly were: powerful, yes, but even more so in their kindness. And for the first time, Vora believed in a future where the galaxy's true strength lay not in dominance, but in the simple act of saving a life.